Do you remember all of these pieces I showed you a couple weeks ago that I sprayed in black or off-white? Today I'm going to use this picture that inspired me and create something beautiful. If you're new here, my name is Natalie, and I am the owner and creator of Sparks of Joy Studio. We are going to start with the IOD Blossom Mold and some Das air dry clay. And I am going to work that clay into the mold. I have already dusted it with some cornstarch. And I will say that this mold, or maybe the way that I was working through this project, ended up being a little bit more challenging than I anticipated as far as getting that clay out of the mold. I was able to do so, but it did come out in pieces rather than in like a beautiful straight um, design of florals. But that's okay because what I'm going to end up doing with it works anyway. I worked my way through the mold, pulling out all of these castings. I will say this was a much slower process than what you see on this sped up video right here, but I am going to now show you how I pulled all of those back together onto my picture. Starting with the biggest piece that I had together, I grabbed some Titebond Quick and Thick, and I am going to glue it down onto the part of the picture that I wanted to kind of start my design. If you remember the kind of inspiration picture that I have, it had that beautiful set of florals right in the middle front of that picture or vase. I want to do a very similar method on this picture. As I pull all of these pieces back together and lay them down onto my project, I'm not as worried about making sure they're exactly in the same positions that they were in when I pulled them out of the mold. I really just want to make sure it looks cohesive and like they should be connected in the way that I'm connecting them back together now. I did not wait for the pitcher, the clay to, not the pitcher, the clay to dry before I came in with my first coat of paint. I am using Parchment by Fusion, and this is probably my favorite of the cooler whites that are in the line. It is an all-in-one paint, and I am using a smaller brush. Ended up using a flat 1-inch brush to try to get into those details, but also being very, very gentle with my kind of placement or when I position the brush onto those clay pieces because they are still very moldable. After I do that first coat, I do let everything dry overnight and then come back the next day and add on the last 2 coats that I need. And then this project is done. I wanted this to be very clean and simple in how it looks. I also painted 2 other vases that I have in the same Parchment by Fusion, and those I just painted and left as is. You will see that there's some texture on those 2 vases anyway. For my next project, I have these adorable vintage little photos that I got from the Goodwill. This is the regular Goodwill. They were each about $2, and I was okay with getting them just because I loved the little look of those children in the photos. I am going to start by sanding down the sides of the frames because they had some sort of like I don't know if it was wax. I don't know if it was maybe the finish that was on these that kind of bubbled over, but they had some sort of, film or something on them. So I used some Simple Green first to try to clean off some of it. I do end up wiping the Simple Green on to the fronts of each of these pictures. And I got so nervous because I was worried that some of the liquid got underneath the photos, but it didn't. It actually dried okay. But then I do come in with my sander and try to sand down some of those edges and make sure everything looks very clean and smooth before I moved on to the next step. I also used my heat gun along with this little kind of what blade to take off those little tags on the back of each of my pieces. I won't be painting the backs of them because I figured this would be something that would hang on a wall. I don't know. What do you think? Should I paint the back too? I will show you how I paint the sides, but I had to start regardless and take away all of the price tags that were on the back. Okay, now that everything is sanded, clean, ready, I am going to be using Chateau by Fusion and an angled artist brush and just very slowly working my way around the frame and being very mindful to stay away from the actual picture. I do want to get the entire frame, but I also want it to look very clean along the edges of each of those pictures. I got these artist brushes in maybe a pack of 6 or 10 off of Amazon, and I will say that it works really well. It's a thick enough brush that it gets good coverage along with that fusion, of course, but it also was thin enough that I was able to go around those small details and really get a clean look. I do give each of these little photos a coat. I ended up doing 3 coats of that paint to make sure I had good coverage, let it dry, and then this project was done. I did not do any type of distressing or change anything. I wanted it to be very clean. And part of me was thinking this could be a good kind of oversized ornament or something, thinking about, as we get closer to craft fair season and seeing that. But my mom, when she saw them, she said, oh, she thought that this would look great in maybe like that somebody would want them for a nursery or a playroom. So I left the backs as is with those sawtooth hangers. For my next set of projects, I'm going to be using a few things from my stash and this beautiful wooden basket. I guess it's a basket box with a metal handle that I got at Goodwill when I found those other little pictures that we just upcycled. I'm going to start by removing the handles on this piece, and then I'm going to give it a really good clean before we come back in with some paint. If you haven't noticed, I've been on kind of a white kick for today's video, so I figured I would go ahead and show you guys a different type of white that is offered by Fusion. I've already used Chateau, I've already used Parchment. This one right here is Cashmere, and this one again is another beautiful warm white that I truly love. This one is another one of my favorites from the line. I will say that this one, Cashmere, as well as Parchment, I personally find to have much better coverage than some of the other lighter whites that they have in their line, like Raw Silk, Victorian Lace, and what's the other one? Casement. Those one and Picket Fence. Those ones I feel like you like these ones. Obviously, I'm using a lot of coats because I've mentioned that I'm doing 3 coats of paint. But with those ones, I sometimes need more than that if I'm covering a dark surface or something that has already been sealed and I need to make sure I don't get any bleed through. I really, really like Cashmere, Chateau, and Parchment because they, to me, provide a little bit fuller coverage than what I have seen with some of the lighter ones. I will also say that I have painted an entire leather chair in Parchment and it has held up and is beautiful. So I'll have to show you guys that sometime. Anyway, I'm covering the entire outside and inside of this piece in Cashmere by Fusion, and I'm going to let this dry. This one, I believe, only needed 2 coats. I really got some great coverage with this, and so once those 2 coats were dry, we'll come back in and we can embellish. Before I get to that, I also wanted to show you this other piece that I had in my stash. This is a little riser I created a little over a year ago, and I'm going to remove the handles of it. I did not end up selling it, and so I wanted to change it up to see if I could find something that would be a little bit more cohesive to today's video, but also something that might be more enticing for somebody to want to purchase. It already has some feet on it. There are some spindles on the feet, and I really liked those handles because of the wood piece that was on them, but I noticed as I was looking at it more closely recently that it was stapled on. Those handles were stapled on, and I didn't like the way that that looked, so I wanted to figure out a different solution for how to have some handles on this piece. After giving this a light sanding just to make sure that it is prepped for the next step in the project, I grabbed some white oak, which is an alchemy paint, another off-white, and I think it ends up very similar in color to that cashmere that we just used on the other piece. I recently purchased this Klingon brush just to kind of see how it painted on. I guess I've seen other creators use it, and I will tell you, I'm really loving this brush. I got mine off of Amazon. I do know that there are some other creators who do sell it on their websites. This is the F30, I believe. And again, it was really easy to paint with and also very easy to wash at the end, which I, again, loved. I also have a piece of scrap wood that already had two holes in it. It was set up to be kind of, I guess, like a floating shelf. And this was something that I just had in my stash. So I painted it with the same, I believe this is Cashmere by Fusion. And now I'm looking at the brand new transfer sheet or the transfer set by IOD called Home Sweet Home. And I had a few neutral pieces that I really, really liked. And this one that says wash, dry, what's the last part? Press, I thought would be perfect. And it fit perfectly onto this piece of scrap wood within those two spaces where the holes are. So I'm going to go ahead, position this onto the board as centered as I can be, and then I'm going to begin transferring it down. If you have never used a transfer before, it is very simple. You pull that backer sheet off, lay down your transfer, and then all of the transfer sets come with a transfer stick, and you use that to rub that transfer off of the backer sheet or the transfer sheet onto your project. I do seal this project with a top coat. I am using Dixie Belle's flat top coat, and once I do that, I'm done. Sometimes I've seen other creators sometimes distress back that transfer to make it look a little bit more vintage and aged. I didn't really want to mess with this one. I felt that the way that the artwork was on there already gave it that vintage vibe, as well as those more muted colors. Remember, for this box, I used Alchemy by Fusion, which is a limestone and chalk paint and does need to be sealed. So before I do anything with transfers onto this little box, I do seal the entire thing using that same Dixie Belle flat top coat. This adorable transfer that I found in the same Home Sweet Home set, I thought would be perfect on the front of this box. It's I believe it's two little kids walking under an umbrella together, and it is the same like kind of vintagey vibe that those pictures from the last project had, as well as the color scheme that was in the laundry room kind of sign that we just created. So I transferred this on to the front of my project in the same manner. I do not need to seal anywhere else on the project except for the front again over this transfer, just because you want to make sure your transfers are sealed as well. So I do end up doing that. And for our final wooden box basket, I start by sanding it gently. That like wood had a lot of texture on it, and I really wanted to bring out those details. Also, because everything was dark underneath, it was really going to be able to show through and create a good kind of background to the transfer that I decided to add on next. It was very cohesive, the colors coordinated, and even where those little like thumbtack things are, I even brought some of that back too, which had some of that metallic-y bronze finish. Once that was done, I found the part of the box that I felt would be the most appropriate to lay down a transfer, and then I used this a beautiful, it's like a goose, I guess that's on it, and I decided to lay it down. I ended up using the opposite side just because that one is where the pear was, the design that was on the piece originally, and some of the green had poked through, so I wanted to kind of mask that. I transfer this down, and once that's done, I do seal this entire piece with a clear coat as well. I did use one of the candle rings from Julie's Designs and Signs for the base of that basket, and then some long stems with pink flowers from Walmart. And then for the other one, I just added a sprig of greenery as well. This is how they will be styled for now, but I would love to know, what would you do with these containers? Would you use them for functional decor? Would you style them with different type of greenery? I would love to know. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please let me know in the comments which project was your favorite, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week.